fish scales? A naked dress? Princess Charlene is a style icon, but some say these past looks don't pass the muster. While Princess Charlene looks stunning in this beaded green gown, she's named this outfit as one of her early fashion crimes. Speaking with Vogue in 2011, just a few months before her royal wedding, the future princess was open about how dressing for her first Red Cross gala was a stressful and ultimately unsuccessful experience. She told the publication, "I was literally a fish out of water. I thought it was all fun and didn't give my outfit any thought. I'd been playing beach volleyball all day, painted my nails red, and threw on a green dress. I thought I looked great at the time, but looking back, I realized that my debut into Monaco society should have been better executed." Considering the fact that Monaco's Red Cross Gala is one of the largest charity galas in the world, it's no surprise that the dignitaries and nobles that surrounded Charlene that night would have expected a bit more effort from their future leader. At £2,999 a head, the guest list is usually the who's who of European society. With this said, Charlene's strappy emerald gown definitely flattered the former Olympian's physique, but the skin-bearing dress was perhaps better suited to a glam Hollywood premiere than a time-honored charity event. What's in a curtsy? Traditionally, a curtsy is reserved for women and girls when they are greeting someone of higher social rank than themselves. However, while the action itself is quite simple, remembering who you're supposed to actually curtsy to can be quite the headache. Just take it from Princess Charlene. In the biography Charlene in Search of a Princess, South African writer Arlene Prinsloo quoted her as saying, "I address royals incorrectly, or often curtsy to those I shouldn't be curtsying to, or I forget to curtsy." Even worse, Princess Charlene's outfits are often inappropriate for curtsying. Choosing high-end gowns from only the best designers and with only the most flattering silhouettes sounds hard enough, but imagine having to do squats in them in front of the world. From modernizing your wedding vows to switching into some funky shoes for the dance floor, brides have been implementing more non-traditional wedding ideas in recent years. Princess Charlene sure made a splash when she donned her non-traditional suit jacket and jumpsuit for her civil ceremony to Prince Albert II on July 1st, 2011.
Oui.
While the blonde beauty did eventually change into a stunning Armani gown for the couple's Roman Catholic ceremony the next day, the blazer and pants combo certainly turned heads when the newlyweds waved to their well-wishers from the palace balcony. What's more, the jumpsuit and blazer were different shades of pale blue, not white, which only made the ensemble all the more unconventional. Having previously had the privilege of having former movie star Grace Kelly as their princess, one can imagine that the people of Monaco were not prepared for such an edgy look. But hey, Charlene's no stranger to breaking royal protocol. If you're a prospective princess and you think the media storm might die down after your blockbuster royal wedding, think again. Just ask Meghan Markle, who left the royal family altogether following incessant tabloid harassment, among other issues.
It's hard. I don't think anybody could understand that.
While Princess Charlene wasn't tormented quite as badly as Prince Harry's bride, there was a large amount of pressure put on her shoulders following her 2011 wedding. For starters, there was the expectation that the Principality's new princess would make a name for herself in the fashion world. However, the gown Princess Charlene wore to Princess Madeleine of Sweden's wedding in 2013 left many royal watchers wanting. As Maddalena Mastrotefano, an expert in European monarchy, told Express, the brown dress and lack of jewels was a, quote, bad PR move and was not considered appropriate by the people of Monaco. She said it was supposed to be tiaras and orders. She arrived with a brown dress and that was it. With Prince Albert a no-show, this was Princess Charlene's first solo engagement since her marriage, and it was felt by the chic folk of Monaco that their lone representative should have made a bigger fashion statement than this ruffled number. While the sheer bolero jacket and peplum skirt piece were interesting pieces, the fit wasn't as perfect as one would hope. What's more, the dark brown colour of the gown made her fade into the background of the crowds. When Princess Charlene married Prince Albert, she wasn't just marrying a man, she was also marrying a legacy. For better or worse, a crucial part of that legacy is the timeless style and elegance of Prince Albert's mother, Her Serene Highness Princess Grace of Monaco. While the royal family operated under the radar for many decades, they were thrust into the international spotlight when the American screen star retired from movies to marry Monaco's Prince Rainier III. Long before she even met Prince Rainier, Grace Kelly had already carved out a reputation as being one of director Alfred Hitchcock's uber-polished icy blondes.
Well, I haven't noticed a big demand for tickets.
That's because I bought out the house.
With her classically feminine silhouettes and austere fashion taste, Grace Kelly was a style icon. While Princess Charlene resembles her late mother-in-law in her blondness and beauty, it seems the new monegasque matriarch is lacking in the fashion department. The gap between Kelly and Princess Charlene was on full display in 2010 when Prince Albert and his then-fiancée attended a private viewing of an exhibition at London's Victoria and Albert Museum titled Grace Kelly, Style Icon, cataloguing Kelly's place as a paragon of 1950s beauty. However, disappointingly, Princess Charlene opted to wear a basic knee-length black dress for this occasion. While this would be a cute number for a cozy date night, it did not meet the mark for an event celebrating Monaco's legendarily chic royal. Red Cross Gala? More like Lilac Skirt Gala. Princess Charlene swung wide when she opted for this structural ombre gown that bled from pale pink to a shocking iris colour. However, as beautiful as this floor-sweeping frock may be, there was one element of the dress that put it just over the line of inappropriate. See that keyhole neckline? While this gap on the bodice surely kept Charlene cool in the Monegasque heat, it also ensured that all eyes were on her chest. If we were to see this feature on our red carpet favourites like Rihanna or Margot Robbie, it might be met with rounds of applause and fire emojis galore on social media. However, from politicians to famous businessmen, the crowd in attendance of Monaco's largest charity gala was a decidedly different, more conventional audience. Considering the overall conservative nature of the gala, this cleavage-bearing gown was just a little too sexy. Becoming a royal means that your planner is almost always filled with events like ribbon cuttings, state banquets, and garden parties.
My wife and I are delighted to welcome you to Buckingham Palace this evening.
That is, unless you're Charlene, Princess of Monaco. The rebel royal made headlines when she appeared at a fashion show for Milan Fashion Week in 2017. For someone whose job it is to be a public servant, rocking out at such an avant-garde event was an unexpected move. However, if there's one thing Princess Charlene has proved good at, it's keeping the tabloids on their toes. With her blonde hair sheared into a short bob, Princess Charlene's spiky look announced to the crowd and the cameras alike that she was altogether a new kind of princess. No garden parties and floral dresses for her. Her look consisted of a silver mini dress with skin-bearing cutouts along the bodice, strappy silver heels, and an oversized leather jacket to complete the look. While her Mirrorball-inspired ensemble was the perfect choice for sitting front row at a fashion show, it was a bit out of bounds for a member of European royalty. With people around the world beginning to question the relevance of monarchy in our modern world, refraining from glitz and glamour could be read as a smart way for members of royalty to ingratiate themselves back into the public's good graces. With this political noise in the background, Princess Charlene's seductive gown is less of a style slay and more of a PR misstep. What colours and patterns do you most associate with Christmas? If you live in the western part of the world, you might think of red and white with candy cane stripes.
Merry Christmas!
However, for Princess Charlene, it seems that neutral tones and muted outdoorsy patterns are more her speed. While Charlene hasn't spoken publicly about this style choice, the outfit she wore to the Monegasque Palace's annual Christmas party in December of 2020 was a bold enough statement in itself. The princess arrived at the event wearing a long black turtleneck under a bronze-coloured caftan with leaf and butterfly designs. She paired it with a sparkly gold face mask and, most surprising of all, a bold asymmetrical haircut. Before the event, the princess shaved half of her head. Experts told the Daily Mail that it seemed to be a deliberate attempt to rebel against royal expectations. While the look was very on brand for Charlene, considering her past tomboy and punk rock-inspired looks, it felt a bit out of place with the otherwise jubilant and colourful vibe of the toy drive she was attending. In press photos released after the event, Princess Charlene's outfit is clearly in disharmony with the bright pinks, blues and greens that make up the toy boxes on the shelves behind her. Prince Albert and Princess Charlene are a strange pairing at the best of times. From the moment photos from their 2011 wedding were released showing Charlene wiping what looked like unhappy tears at the altar, rumours of friction and separation have plagued the royal couple. Over the years, Prince Albert's complicated relationships with his love children and awkward public moments with Princess Charlene have only added fuel to the tabloid fire. One such awkward outing occurred when Princess Charlene attended the 2018 Red Cross Gala in a gown completely uncoordinated with her husband's traditional ensemble. While Prince Albert wore a white tuxedo suit paired with black trousers and a crimson bow tie, his wife, who is 20 years his junior, wore an eye-catching metallic gown with a low-cut neckline that looked as if it was made out of medieval chainmail, or maybe fish scales.
I think the party starts now.
The dress smacks of something you might see on an experimental runway at New York Fashion Week, rather than in the entryway of Monaco's Red Cross Gala. While it's undeniable that Princess Charlene looks stunning in the glittering gown, her aesthetic was out of sync with her husband's, whose classic suit looked as if it could have been taken right out of the 1940s. With links of metal chains lining the V-neck cut of Charlene's gown, it's clear that this hard rock number was not the best choice for the occasion. The Roman Catholic Church is an old institution. With such a grandiose and storied history, it's no surprise that those who travel to Vatican City to meet the Pope must adhere to a strict dress code. And yes, that even means royals. However, if you are a Catholic royal, you are able to wear white in your meet and greet with the Pope. Princess Charlene happens to be one of the select few women on the planet who are allowed to wear white when visiting the Pope, and so when Charlene met Pope Francis in 2016, she proudly donned an ivory dress with a cream-coloured coat and a veil. However, her knees were also peeking out from her dress, a big no-no when it comes to greeting the head of the church. Do you remember the naked dress trend? This was a phenomenon that started around the early 2010s that saw everyone from Beyoncé to Zoe Kravitz to Megan Fox walking the red carpet donning super sheer gowns that left little to the imagination. The trend has become so popular that some argue it has started to lose its shock factor. However, when Princess Charlene donned what could be considered a nude illusion dress at the 2013 Love Ball, she stood out from the other female attendees. The event was held in honor of the Naked Heart Foundation. While it's possible that the princess chose this gown in honor of the foundation's name, the sultriness of her look eclipsed any sort of charitable celebration intended. With a strapless bodice in a pale blush color and a sheer overlay skirt that fanned out at the knees, there's no denying that this look matches the barely there aesthetic of past nude illusion dresses. Depending on who you ask, it may be a bit too suggestive for a royal.